before Youthville, I, man, it was hard. It was hard, man. You know, like I said before, growing up without my dad, my mom was on drugs. She put me out when I was like 16. I was doing okay in school. I could have did better, but I just wasn't focused. Ended up having my first child while I was in school. So I was a teenager, 17 years old. I had a baby on the way. I didn't know anything about being a parent. I was homeless. Yeah, how am I gonna take care of a baby? Um, you know, I played sports. I did as much as I could. I played in the marching band. I tried to stay out of trouble, but then the more pressure started coming. Um, you know, in fact, I played basketball and I got cut from the basketball team. And it was sad because I was one of the best in the school. I was probably one of the top 3 or 4 players. It was like 4 or 5 players that made the team and took their jerseys off in front of the coach and said, "You need Mike Dean. Let Mike Dean play. He can have my spot." I mean, you had like 4 or 5 people that said that, and for me to look at the coach and plead my case and not knowing why he didn't allow me to play, it broke me. That was like the breaking, like being homeless, couch surfing. I was making it. To be honest, I was eating ramen noodles every day. You know, however we, could make it. I had some support from extended family members, friends I grew up with, kind of supported me over time during my transition. So it wasn't too. I had a place to go, but then when I got cut from basketball, I lost it. I was drug free before that. I started smoking weed. I started drinking. I started partying. I wasn't even a party guy. My life just went down. Then, I sold weed. I worked at McDonald's. McDonald's was paying me $4.15 an hour. And, it just wasn't doing enough for me. My daughter came, and I'm looking at this baby, like, how am I going to do this? How am I going to be here for her? I got to do what I got to do. So I started selling crack cocaine. And boom, I got deeper and deeper and deeper into it. And I was like, for me, I was one of those guys that I honored my peers. I was loyal. So I didn't really understand how dirty and grimy the street life really was, because I grew up in those environments, but I wasn't engaged. My mom would never allow us to engage in it. Once I engaged in it, it was pretty ruthless, cutthroat. I've seen a lot of things that I won't say on video. I've done things that I'll never repeat. I've done things that I regret. I remember selling drugs to a house, to a lady, and she had kids. It reminded me of how drug dealers did my mom. And she sold me all of her food stamps. She sold me their Nintendos. Back then, and we didn't have Xbox 360. We had Nintendos and Segas and stuff like that. I think we may have had the PlayStation 1. But she sold me all their stuff for Christmas. And I started looking at myself like, man, this is not me. And finally, boom, one day I got hit by SWAT. The SWAT team kicked in my door late at night. It's in my book, What If I Had a Father, the Man I Never Knew. But I got hit by SWAT, and my daughter was 4 or 5 months in the house. My girlfriend, which is now my wife, was in the house. And I had to do something. Went to jail. First time ever going to jail. Somebody snitched on me, so it wasn't like I got caught because I didn't have the skills. I got caught because I was in the game with no rules, and I try to play by rules. So how do you play a game that don't have rules, but you're trying to play with rules? And that's where my mind was, and boom, I went to jail, and I started thinking, like, I need to change. Make a long story short, got out of jail, went back to the streets. And it just wasn't working. I was walking with some friends or, some guys, and we were going, pitch in and get a sack of marijuana. Everybody's gonna put 5. We said 5 on it. I got 5 on it, so like 6 or 7 people. So we was gonna party, if you will. I seen the SWAT team cutting grass. I'm like, whoa, wait a minute! I recognize that guy right there on the riding lawnmower. I said, I'm not going. I'm good. Give me my $5. I go get my own weed. I was scared. I was like, man, I could really go to prison. Cause the judge said, hey, look, if you don't change, if you do anything else, you're doing 7 years at least. If you just blink wrong, you're doing 7 years. And I was scared. So finally one day, I put down the drugs and stuff, and I was broke. I was used to making $500 to like $2,500 a day. I mean, so I had money to go from that to absolutely nothing. Went to Youthville. I seen this, my wife, which was my girlfriend, saw an ad in the paper that said, "Earn while you learn." Youthville in Columbus Works downtown at the YWCA, and I applied. She applied. We both got called back from Youthville. We both joined Youthville. She did Youthville for a little bit, and I stuck with it. She went into the nursing field. I stayed with Youthville, and that's how I got into Youthville.